The 16th of November 2012, 6:50 p.m. Plainfield, Indiana. My daughter and I both witnessed a line of 4 to 7 orange lights, seemed connected, equally spread apart, vertically lined up but tilted at an angle, flying just above horizon, flying west to east. We were driving south on Cartersburg Road, from Danville to Plainfield. There was an airplane at a higher altitude flying farther east. As we watched, the lights went out, disappeared, starting from the closest light to the ground, and moving up in order to the top, and all lights were gone, extinguished. Drove the road twice more, in day and night, looking for anything that could make the lights, and found nothing.
The 26th of March 2013, 8:35 p.m. Brownsburg, Indiana. I left work at 8:20 p.m. and was halfway home. I was heading south on 1000E just north of 56th Street. I was watching two jets far away, probably landing at Indianapolis Airport. Then to my right I saw what I thought to be a small plane coming toward me. That when it caught my attention because it had orange lights instead of red and green, plus they were flashing really fast. I am still driving, so it was hard to focus on it. By the time it got overhead, I got my truck stopped and driver's window down. I stuck my head out and looked up at it, and then it just went dark, lights out, but with the full moon I could see it was round and it changed direction. It was going NE and it instantly changed to south. I lost it after 3 to 4 seconds. Before I noticed it, I had just a weird feeling and remember looking at clock on dash to make sure I had not dozed or anything, and I was right on time. Then I saw it. I am a little paranoid now. When I watched it go dark and change directions and not be seen, makes you wonder how many more are there and what do they want.
The 23rd of September 2013, Coatesville, Indiana. About 11 p.m. looking at the night sky, saw red and green blinking lights. Got my camera so I could enlarge. Put on night mode, Samsung Galaxy 4. Once enlarged, I could make out the shape and lights much clearer. Disc shape with top and bottom domes. I also saw what looked like little stars or balls of light around it coming and going, almost reminded me of swarming mosquitoes. One turned a bright red for just a second. Kept moving in a line further away until I could not see anymore. Took about an hour from when I first noticed it. Disappeared out of sight or went behind trees. I could not tell which happened first. Lucky to see it by about 12:40, it became overcast in our area.
The 27th of October 2013, 7:55 p.m. Clayton, Indiana. My wife and I were out in garden smoking a cig, when I noticed a bright object coming from NW. It was gliding like the speed of an airliner, had small sideways motions LR yet keeping path. There were no sound, no blinking light as an airliner, but extreme bright, at least twice or more than Jupiter. I ran to get my camcorder, but I could not pick it up on cam, but I could see street lamp with it. Seemed to as if the light were of other frequency that cam could not pick up. In steady speed, it vanished in the direction SE. Time of observation 7.55 EST, 20 miles west of Indianapolis. My first thought were it was plane, but it became very clear it was not. There were two airliners in flight, both headed NE, one very high, the other fairly low. Those wing blinkers were so clear, but none on this one. Altitude approximately 1,000 feet, no sound at all, just gliding over sky. NE to SE.
The 15th of June 2014, Danville, Indiana. I was at home, and around 3:15 a.m., the power went out. I heard sirens lasting about 15 minutes. About 3:45, my daughter and I were on the back porch and noticed what we thought was an airplane. We noticed it didn't seem to be moving fast enough to be a plane. We thought it might be a star, but noticed movement. It appeared to be hovering over Indianapolis. Far enough away, we couldn't pinpoint exact movements, but noticed it seemed to be moving in almost a circular pattern and slight changes in altitude with reference to the horizon. About 4:30, we decided to get a closer look at it to make sure we weren't just seeing things. She tried to take a picture of it with her phone, but it was too dark and too far away. Finally, as dawn's light began to emerge, I went in and got my camera, put it on night setting, and was able to get a picture. It just appeared as little dots of light on the camera view screen. I took the SD card and transferred it to the computer, and what we saw didn't look like a star at all. It looked like the movement we were seeing was some sort of circular movement, and it did seem to be leaving some sort of emission trail. When I went back out to see about getting a better picture, about 5:15, I could not locate it. It was about 4 o'clock to 4:15 a.m. when we saw the helicopter coming from WSW heading in the direction of the object. That is all we know, and we were just wondering if anyone else had any ideas what it might have been.
Avon, Indiana, July the 13th. Step out of my house for some fresh air. Noticed the western sky had a yellow hue. Turned off lights on my deck. I saw 4 yellow-orange bright lights over the peak of my roof. It seemed like they came in waves. 3 waves at 0.30 seconds. Apart, I yelled for my mother to come out and see the lights. She came out. We watched Ed till 10:45 p.m. We think there were about 30 or 35.
Avon, Indiana on July 5, 2013. I was standing in my driveway when I saw a flash in the southern sky. I looked up to see several red-orange spheres going from south to north, then abruptly changed direction and head due east. There was approximately 30 to 50 of these that I saw over about a 5 to 7 minutes period. I yelled at my neighbor and tried to get my girlfriend to come quickly to observe the objects. She just thought I was crazy, so I am not sure of how many others may have seen what I did, but I can tell you that I watch the sky a lot closer now than I used to. Thank you. P.S. I took pictures with my cell phone and none of the pictures showed anything but black sky.
Was taking supermoon pics August 11th on the east side of Brownsburg. I thought I saw a shooting star at one point while taking the moon pictures. On the way home, I was watching the sky to the west. I was only about 3 blocks from my house, looking west when I noticed a red orb, or fireball. I have seen these before. I knew right away what it was. Got home, had my camera in the car, so got it out right away. Adjusted the settings, got one picture of it, as by that time was already over my house headed east. It was headed just to the right of the full moon. The moon's light was so bright, that the orb just faded out in the light. I thought, oh darn, wanted to get more pics. I wanted it to come back. I took a couple more pics of the moon. It seemed like only 5 minutes, and I looked straight up, and another one was there. I got 6 or 7 pictures of that one. It went on the same path, and faded out in the moon's light, just as the other one did. I thought it was no Chinese lantern, as there was not much wind. Moved too fast for a lantern, and what's the chance it was on the exact same flight pattern as the first? Too slow for a plane, and no blinking lights. I could have sworn I only waited about 5 minutes. When the second one went over. But when I went to upload my photos, the time said the first one was at 9:44, and the rest of the pics on the second one was 10:10.
Indianapolis, Indiana. We were sitting at the intersection of Washington Street and Raceway Road, 3943 feet 45.98 inches N86, 19 feet 35.38 inches, facing south towards the airport, waiting for the traffic light to change at roughly 2100, -5 GMT, October 25, 2014. I noticed a red light moving across the sky. I didn't really think much of it at first, being so close to the airport, but upon second glance there were no navigation lights on the thing and it was moving quite fast for a passenger aircraft. Moreover, as I focused on the object, it was what looked like a sort of triangular ovoid that was emitting flames in all directions. I pointed it out to the person in the passenger seat. They tried to get a picture, but camera phones are useless for night sky images near cities. We watched as it circled the airport until the traffic light turned green and we turned and headed east. We watched it as much as we could while driving. We lost view of it behind a row of trees and laughed about how we had just seen a UFO. I do regret not being able to give you my name or contact information.